All right, good morning, you guys. I'm going to review because today you guys are be working still with dividing decimals. We're going to be doing the part 2 of dividing a decimal, and it's dividing a decimal by a decimal. So make sure you put today's date on it, put your title. Basically, your notebook's looking just like mine as we go through. All right, so to divide a decimal by a decimal, the first number, remember, that's the one that goes in the bracket. The number that's next goes on the outside. Okay, so when you have a decimal as your divisor, you are going to change this to a whole number. It'll make it a whole lot easier to divide. So you're going to move this decimal over to the right until it's a whole number. So you're going to move it over 1, 2 times. So now it's 25. But just like fractions, remember, if this was a fraction and this was the numerator, what you did to the numerator, you need to do to the denominator too. So you're going to move this one over also the same amount of times, which is 2 times. So now it changed them both to whole numbers. So now you have 25 and 65. So now it turned into 25 or 65 divided by 25. And this is where your invisible decimal is. So if you want to move that decimal up, you can. Let me make sure. I'm going to do it on the calculator because I want to make sure that I have the right number in my head that we're doing. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. So what we're going to do, so you have 65 divided by 25, and that's where your new decimal place is. So you can move your decimal right on up because remember, it's still decimals that you're working with. So can 25 go into 6? No. 0 times 25 is 0. So this would be 6. Bring down the 5. How many times can 25 go into 65 without going over? 2. Good. 25 times 2 is 50. So 65 minus 50 is 15. Now, you can't have a remainder. When you have decimals, you cannot have a remainder. Remainders are only for like if you're just doing whole numbers, but this is not a whole number. This is a decimal. So you need to make sure you move that decimal up. You can't forget that it's there. So now you have, remember, you have zeros over here that go on forever. You can have as many zeros as you want. So you're going to bring that 0 down. So now you have 150. Well, 150 divided by 25 is 6. 6 times 25 is 150. Now, if for some reason you ended up subtracting this and you had another number here, you would add another 0 on and bring it down and keep going on until you exhausted all of them, basically, until you don't have a remainder at all. Because with decimals, you cannot have a remainder. So let's put that in our notebook. You can not have a remainder. When you are dividing decimals. Okay, so that's how you divide a decimal by a decimal. So what I want you to do, even if you need to rewatch this video, go ahead. That's why it's a video. You guys can watch it as many times as you want until you completely understand what you're doing. And then I'm going to give you guys your 4 practice problems that you're going to do today. So do those in your notebook and then make sure you guys are filling out the Google form for your answer choices so I can check it and get it back to you. All right. Hope you guys are doing good.